Hi guys, my name is Kezia from the Basement Child podcast. If you can hear any noise, I am so sorry. I apologize from like the deepest part of my heart because every time I start recording, someone is walking upstairs. As you guys know, for my returning subscribers and listeners, I am the Basement Child. I was about to say Basement Child podcast, but I am the Basement Child. I live in my parents' basement, and sometimes they forget that I'm here. Also, I can hear everything that goes on upstairs. Anyway, so first of all, thank you so much, guys, for all your support on all my platforms. I wish I could hug all of you. Literally, I feel so affirmed, so validated, so loved by you guys. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. You can just leave an emoji or say something. Anyway, so today's podcast is about friendship breakups. Yeah. Friendship breakups for me hurt more than relationship breakups, seriously. Because in a relationship, I feel like you're cautious and ready for anything. You're ready for anything. You're cautious. You're uko rada. But in friendships, you give your all. You assume you're built in a way that you assume that nothing bad could come out of it. That's just your friend, right? So you just feel safe. You're yapping, sharing secrets, opening your heart like an idiot. Let me tell you what happened to me. So a few years back, I was in church deeply because it's all I knew, right? It's all I had to hold on at the time. It was everything for me. So my friends revolved around church. My whole life actually revolved around church. My dress code. At some point, even my hair. And as soon as I changed that, I remember they just started hating on me or calling my hair so rough. No, I'm Rasta. I'm a Rasta. I've always been a Rasta deep inside. But the day I started with hairstyles that are rough looking, like Afro kinky hairstyles that were long, and so I would keep them in for a long time, that they would start looking like locks. And then I remember she's still my friend. She had locks, and they tried to make her take out her locks, which was so strange. Anyway, I'm losing track of the point of today. So what was I saying? Shit. Do I need notes? I was in church for a very long time. So anyway, I became really close friends with this guy. Let's name him Potato. Napenda kusema potatoes. My rose. My tea is as a rose. Anyway, yeah, let's name this guy Potato. So we became really close friends. I can't remember specifically the incident where we decided that we are close, but we were just in the same circle of people. So eventually we gravitated towards each other and became really, really close friends. And in church at the time, I don't know how it is now because I left, but at the time, having platonic friendships between men and women or boys and girls was a very strange thing. It was either you're having sex with them, or which is another thing I have a problem with. Anyway, you're having sex with them, or you guys are friends because you are doing some shady shit, okay? I'm literally triggered when I talk about this. My friends know Potato. Anyway, so we became really close friends. I met his parents. My parents didn't come to the country in the period that we were friends, so he didn't get to meet them. But they knew about him because I used to talk about him, and he gives me great advice. Oh. And then one day they asked me what happened to him, and I said he died. So this is a PSA to my parents. He didn't die. I just cut him off. Or maybe he cut me off. Anyway, so we used to hang out a lot, talk on the phone a lot. We were there for each other. Our friendship was great, by the way. I'm trying to think if there were any red flags, but there weren't. He was there for me. I remember after church, because if you're from Nairobi, our church was in KICC. Inside the venue was KICC. So when I'm in Nairobi, I use matatu. Rarely use Ubers because I'm a gangster. You know what I'm saying? I'm lying. Anyway, so like I remember he would walk me to the stage. Like this was a proper gentleman, and like he was my best friend. Of all the friends I had, he was my best friend. Anyway, so we became closer and closer by the months, closer and closer and closer and closer. And I just started feeling like, oh, this is a really good time in my life. I have a solid friend. Nothing could ever happen. But then, shenanigans. This is why after that, I don't think I could ever become that close to a man who is not like my boyfriend or a man what I have feelings for, because what the fuck, excuse my language. sorry, I don't like to curse on here. Anyway, feelings started getting caught. Yeah, anyway, I can't give you guys all the details. I don't want to do any shaming of myself or Potato. So I was part of the praise and worship team of the church. I used to play the saxophone. Can you imagine me? I used to play the saxophone. Anyway, he was also in church. Let me just say that. I don't want to explain too much. He was also in church. So I was in the praise and worship team, and he was close to the praise and worship team leaders. So my leaders, the people who I was serving under, would I say I was serving under them? I don't know if that's the correct explanation, but if like something happened to me, these were the people who are accountable for me. And of course, they hold you in high regard. You respect them because they're older than you. You don't want them knowing shady things about you. Like, you just want to be in the best light, because this makes your service easier in church. Like, you don't have, it's not like at home where you have to keep, how do I put it? First of all, guys, I just want to let you guys know that I'm so nervous doing this because I care. If you see me acting, dancing, it's because I'm nervous. I've lost my train of thought. Oh damn, what's happening today? I'm really nervous today because this is a topic that is very sensitive. Anyway, so I really wanted to be in the best light with my leaders. Spendi makesi mimi. But there's spendi makesi. Even if you're my friend, if something is going on between us, I would rather we just address it between us and it ends. Like, I don't like it dragging along. And if we have to address it more than thrice, then I don't think we should be friends. That's just how I roll. That's just me, okay? That's just me. So anyway, things became complicated. And one Sunday, I went to church and had a really good day. But then in the evening, I spotted Potato. He was kind of avoiding me that like previous week to the Sunday that led to the Sunday. And then on Sunday, after the service, I spotted him talking to one of my leaders. My leaders were a couple. There are several leaders, but then the main leaders were a couple. And they were my friends also, like, we're very close. I spotted him talking to them. But like, I was just like, in my heart, I just said, oh, sorry, something is about to go down. But like, I just went by with my duties while tulikuwa tunakunja mawaya nini, putting away the instruments that we had used for the day. So then I'm called into a meeting. Someone was sent to call me, like, Kezia, unaitwa huko juu. Unaitwa huko juu. Huko juu was like the protocol area. And if they need to talk to you in that section, something is up. You have some addressing to do. So I walk there, and it's Potato and my two leaders. They're seated waiting for me, the guest of honor of the day. Let's take a minute to pray for my heart, because that was the beginning of my downfall in church. Like, so many things had happened before, but that particular incident, I knew before we even had any conversation that it was going to change everything for me, every single thing. Right? And people were like, before, people had been whispering and saying, oh, they're probably sleeping together. I've never addressed it, but I'm here to tell you, because I know y'all like to be in my business. We were not sleeping together. Okay? He's not my type. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, people are saying, oh, we're sleeping together. Anytime we would like disagree and not be talking, people would be like, oh, wamekosana. They're not talking anymore. Like, we were kind of in the church limelight. I don't know why people liked to be in our business, but they were. Okay? I know you're going to be like, oh, she thinks. I know a lot of things. Anyway, so I went into the meeting and I sat down and I was asked, how are you? I said, I'm fine. What's going on? And like, they asked Potato to say his side of the story, and he was like, oh, I don't want to be friends with Kizia because of this and this and this and this and that. And to summarize it, it was a sexual reason. I'm tempting him, and he wants to be pure for his future wife. First of all, Potato, I knew you like the back of my hand. Come on. Like, at this point, I knew everything about him. So, like, first of all, I was so shocked. I was like, in my head, I didn't react in my face. I was like, what? Okay, so you don't want to be friends with me because I give you temptations. Literally, to me, that's, up to this day, this is how I interpreted it. And you know what pissed me off is the fact that during the week, Potato was avoiding me so much. Like, he wouldn't talk to me on phone, nothing. And then, like, I didn't even have a heads up to this meeting. I thought we were friends, Potato. I thought we were friends, my nigga. I thought we were friends. You betrayed me. You betrayed me. Anyway, so they asked me, do I have anything to say for myself? Oh my God, I was so ashamed. I was feeling like Rehab the prostitute or Jezebel. Kai! I said, okay. First of all, I went ahead and said, I don't remember my exact words. But I said, it's okay. Like, I understand what you're saying, but we don't have to be best friends or that close anymore. But I would really like us to remain friends, because I didn't want any bad blood. And in my head, I was telling myself, this is happening right now with these people, with my leaders, but I would like to have a conversation later with Potato, because this is ridiculous. Mi nakwanga mse open-minded. Like, there are people who I know how their minds operate and would never have that kind of conversation in front of them. So I was just like, if I could get time with Potato aside, we'll talk about it and figure it out, because this is bloody ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I give you temptations and you want to, his words were, he wants to wait and keep pure for his future wife. And like, I was like, what does that have to do with me? Why are you throwing me under the bus with my leaders? You want me to look like Jezebel in church? If you've been in church, you know how those things go. And my leaders jumped in. So the female leader jumped in and she was like, Potato has communicated his side of the story. We need to applaud him because at least he's honest and he's politely asking, even if you get pregnant, at least he said. Hey, what? I said pregnant. How did we get to this point? Things are just spiraling right in front of my eyes, and I'm just like, oh my God. And so I got upset. Of course, I started crying. If you know me, I cry about every single thing in my life. I just cry and cry and cry and cry. So I started crying like, oh my God, I was so upset. Like, I was so hurt because to me, it was unnecessary. I feel like we could have sorted it out in a different way. But also, if you're in church and you're deeply there, sometimes critical thinking can be a problem. I'm just saying, Google what critical thinking means and let me know in the comments or you can DM me and let me know if it's possible to be like in a deep church like that and have some critical thinking skills. To me, I don't think so. So anyway, like I got upset, I cried, I don't even remember the rest of the things we talked about after that, but they were like, oh, we still want to be your friend, blah 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 blah, and Potato just kept insisting the way he never ever wants to like have anything to do with me ever again. And the funny part for me was that the previous week he had gone to be prayed for to be delivered, for deliverance. Are you understanding how this is going? For deliverance. I was like, deliverance from what? Me? Am I the devil? Mimi ni shetani. Washa kitu shetani ya hippie. Hey! Anyway, so like we're just chilling, and I'm feeling bad, and we're talking, and I'm crying so hysterically. They've given me even tissues at this point. But the conclusion of the matter was that Potato and I would no longer be not even best friends at all. I said it's okay. So there was a close friend of mine, let's call him Charger realized that the meeting had gone on for so long, and I was just crying. Like, it's a meeting of 4 people, but I'm the only one who's crying, and it's like 9 p.m. Like, the meeting went on for a very long time, and I can't even remember what they said to me. So he came and was like, excuse me guys, it's getting late, and because Keze is a girl that lives by herself, I think we should let her go home. So of course we held hands and prayed for the matter. Magangster niliwaangusha. That season of my life, oh my god, niliwaangusha mbaya sana. I'm so sorry. Ay. When I think about it, I cringe. Oh my god. Tukaomba, we prayed, and then now I packed my saxophone, took my bag, and I was still so upset. My eyes were like so red and swollen at this time, and we were walking to the stage, like from KICC to wherever we were going. It was kind of the same direction. There was no way to avoid them, so the 3 of them were walking. So Potato and my 2 leaders were walking ahead. The funny thing is that my leaders didn't even have my back. They had Potato's back. Seriously, my heart was so broken that day. And these leaders, I used to think they were closer to me than Potato until that day. Anyway, so we were walking to the stage, and Charger was carrying my saxophone and trying to understand what was happening, but I was so ashamed I couldn't even tell him. And then Charger and my 2 leaders, not Charger, Potato and my 2 leaders were walking ahead of me, and I was just feeling so bad. Like, oh my god, I felt like my world had crashed, and it's just the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, the shock, everything was just, and the fact that I was going home to be by myself was even harder for me. Like, I couldn't tell anyone what had happened, because how do you explain yourself? Madam, Mr. Superstar, you guys were here walking with your heads high, feeling like you own the world because you're close friends, you are happy, and now all that is just gone. How do you explain that? And the reason is even more ridiculous. So I went home that night. I don't even think I cried that night, but that whole week I couldn't get out of bed. I could not get out of bed. I just cried. And I remember my partner at the time, I'm so embarrassed. He had warned me. He had told me, this person, something is not adding up. And I was just like, Aish. And we were having like issues and problems at the time. And I remember Potato was really there for me in matters concerning my partner at the time. And like, my partner was against it. He was just like, I know we are going through issues, but I'm telling you that your heart is going to get broken by this person. I'm like, what do you mean my heart? He's just my friend. There's no way to break my heart. Blah, 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 blah. Siku si ilifika, my friend. Siku ilifika. That whole week. And then I remember that Monday, not the next day, I checked my phone, my Instagram. I was blocked. WhatsApp blocked. Phone call blocked. I was blocked everywhere. Potato had just decided that he was going to delete me out of his life without any explanation, without... Oh my God, I felt so bad. Like, oh my God. I had said that I had healed, but then I don't think I have. I think I need therapy because I've been through some crazy situations. And like, I just remember feeling so alone. I remember feeling so ashamed because now my leaders looked at me like this person who just liked to have sex. Like, I later found out that people were talking behind my back and saying that we were dating with Potato and he had broken up with me, and that's why I was sad. Because I remember after that, every Sunday I would come to church and I would just lie down on the floor. Okay, so like where I was serving, the floors were carpeted and they were clean, okay? Like I remember we never even used to wear shoes. Not that they used to make us take off our shoes, we just would take off our shoes because like the services were so long. So I would just, during like worship, I wouldn't even like feel close to God or anything. I would just lie on the floor and cry and cry and cry and cry and regret and hate myself and hate everyone because I knew people were talking behind my back. Even people who I considered my friend never bothered to come and ask me, oh Kez, I had this and this and this happened, because people in church don't know how to keep secrets, especially those in leadership position. Do better, okay? So like the story went around obviously, and wow. Hey, I'm telling you, in a way that I can't describe, I saw fire emotionally. And all this stuff was just going on in my head and in my heart. And at home, when I would go back home to my house, I would cry. I would cry and feel so ashamed. And on Sundays, I would come to church. I even stopped playing the saxophone for a while. I would just be like in the backup. Oh yeah, if you're looking for someone to sing for you, I sing alto in backup. I can try leading too, but that would fail terribly. So I sing alto. I'm a good alto backup. Call me up for gigs. Hit me in my DMs. I'm not joking, but I'm joking. Anyway, so like, I just felt so hopeless. And I think that was my first proper friendship breakup, because I had held this person so dear to my heart. I had found a brother. I had found someone who I felt like had my voice. Anytime I would cry for help, he'd be like, oh, you can do this. And like, he really gave good advice. He was always willing to meet me up and just unwind, you know. Hey, the things we did with Potato as friends. We did a lot of things together. We hated the same people. We loved the same people. Damn, man. I remember there's a time he even bought me flowers on my birthday. And I was so happy about that, because I really love flowers, guys. So if you're looking to buy me gifts, flowers should always be a part of them, because they make my heart so happy. Yeah, anyway, so after that, I think eventually it died down, because, you know, if in a community like that, there's always something new coming up to talk about. People love to gossip. Hey, if we truly read the Bible, we should be doing less gossiping. I'm trying not to cry again. So eventually I was unblocked. I received a text message that said, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I hurt you. I didn't mean it. Just some half-ass apology that because I was in my people-pleasing stage, I said, oh yeah, I forgive you. Oh my God, I'll always be there for you. Blah, blah, blah. I was lying. My heart was so hurt. Like, I feel bad for myself, like for Kezia at that time, because why was I accepting that apology? And I was like, you know, we are cool. And okay, so that was how my friendship breakup went, and I learned a few things. I learned that God is not from my village. People will do bad, terrible things to you, and they will succeed right in front of your eyes. Okay? Don't think that because someone did something bad to you, that their life will go sideways. That's just not how life is. Sorry. If that's what you think again. And also, it was so hard to move on because we were in the same friendship circle. All our friend groups were like together, except those who are like from his home or something. But because my life revolved around church, all our friends were the same. So I would see people like posting him and saying, "Oh, Potato is such a great guy, da 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 da." People saying nice things about him. And eventually I had to withdraw from all the friend groups, and I was just by myself. I don't know why people didn't believe me or like bother to ask. But like I was just by myself, and I had to find my bearing again. Turns out I'm tough as shit, eh? Like I just remember feeling so bad because I tried to explain to my like close friends that we shared this and this happened, but then it didn't, like, unless something happens to you, you would not see it that way. Like it's just like, okay, I'm so sorry your heart was broken, and I hope you heal, and I hope you're okay. And they would be there for me, of course, like would talk on the side, and it was just hard. It was just hard to move on because like, how come that, why me? I kept asking myself, why me? Even the people we would talk shit about now became like really close to him. And like were posting him and like laughing on him and blah blah blah. Like I remember even after like maybe a year or two after all this happened, we were in social gatherings together and we were cool, we were having fun, but it would always end up bad. Hey, I remember once I made a joke about his ex. Hey, his ex came at me. Where? Hey, now I'm spilling tea. Anyway, so like our friends, like eventually all those friend groups just scattered and broke up, and they would come to my inbox and say, "Oh my God, I wish I'd believed you. I wish I'd believed you." Well, you should have. Yeah, you should have believed me when I was telling you. Anyway, yeah, so friendship is hard. Personally, in my experience, I would never ever have a male best friend ever again in my life. Fuck that. Hell no. It turned me into a girl's girl, by the way. Before that, I was just there. But now, it's women or nothing for me when it comes to friends. Like, even my male friends, shout out to you, my male friends. But, like, I just feel like it's just too much. It's too much work. Like, feelings are involved. You start feeling uncomfortable. You start feeling feelings. Okay, so male best friends. If you don't have a best friend right now and you're thinking about becoming the best friend of a man in 2023, I'm literally asking you to not do it. You will cry tears through your ears, nose, and eyes. Don't do it. Also, the other thing is, don't be the person who, shit talks people, because I remember like there are people who were bullying me in my Instagram DM. So people would create pseudo accounts. I didn't say anything, but I withdrew. So people just assumed because I'm withdrawing, I was the one on the wrong. So people would create pseudo accounts, pseudo, I don't know, those like fake accounts on Instagram to come talk shit to me on behalf of Potato. People who are younger than me, people who are younger than him. Like it was crazy. Like it's hard to give all the details without offending anyone, but it was just like, wow, just because I didn't say anything, you guys just assumed that I was the problem. Like all of a sudden I became this villain. And I think that's how actually I started withdrawing from the church. Like I just stopped caring after that. And life went on, but like don't be the person who shit talks your ex-friends. Don't forget the good times. Also, you don't always have to give your side of the story. You really don't. You really don't have to say anything, because you just don't have to say anything. Don't ever feel like you have to explain yourself. Or it was a big lesson for me, because up to now, if anything happens in my family, not in my like nuclear family, but extended family, you know how extended family always has issues coming up. I don't explain myself. Create your own narrative. That's not my problem. Go to therapy, okay? Because I just almost cried right now, and I thought I had healed, because this is something that happened like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 4, 3, I don't know how long it was. What else? Friendship groups are hard, so try to have an individual friendship with everyone, so that in case something happens, you're not drowning by yourself and no one knows or understands why. Yeah, that's the story time for today. Friendship is hard. It's not easy, but it takes work. So yeah, guys, shout out to you, Potato. I'm joking. I'm going to put a gunshot in Potato's head. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do at the end of this episode. Like, subscribe, share, comment on what your opinion is on friendship breakups. Go on my Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you so much, and thank you for always supporting me, and thank you for always coming back. Stawangusha, siwezi waangusha. I've decided that I'm gonna do this, actually. So shout out to you guys, and see you next week or tomorrow. I don't know when. And I love you guys so much. And of course, shout out to my beautiful dog, Sava. And finally, and most importantly, shout out to the great Manchester United. Okay, bye guys.